so I got to hear a guitar, and I'll do a little introduction for you. So this is the 12-bar blues. I can play the chords, but I can also do what I call this little shuffle. And remember a lot of those songs that we talked about, Lead Belly, had things to do about the train? Well, I think in a lot of ways, that sound there is like a train going down a track. And have you ever seen like a steam engine? Ka-chunk, right? It's the main engine is pulling the carts down the line. And so it's long, short, right? Because it's pulling this. And so, another person told me that some of these sounds come from like sweeping with like a broom. So you don't sweep the same thing, you long and short to kind of get that sound. So that scale that I talked about a minute ago, the blues scale, so it's based off of a pentatonic scale. Penta is a root word for 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it repeats. But it does, and then I add one extra note in there, and it makes it a 6-note scale, makes it a blues scale. Hear that? Hear how dissonant that note sounds? That scale there has been my bread and butter for a lot of years because I've played many solos based off of this minor pentatonic blues scale. And as a matter of fact, if I can't figure out a good solo, usually that's the go-to one I go to because it just fits on a lot of things. It fits on that scale there fits with the A note, an A chord, a D chord, an E7 chord, and so I can use that for so many different things. And on an electric guitar, I can bend a little more. So let me show you a couple of things that I do with a blues scale here when I try to solo. Hear that? That's a slide. Slide up, slide down. That's one. This is what they call a hammer-on. So I hit a note, and I hammer the next note with my finger here. That's a hammer-on. A pull-off is I finger 2 notes and I lift up one note while I'm having the other note fingered there. So I'm pressing this finger down here even though I'm not playing it yet because I want that to go to that. If I do that, does that open? There. Now this is the bend. Usually I don't do that a whole lot of acoustic guitars, but hear that? And so all these notes in between, I can't do that on a piano. I can't get these other notes. This is what I got from violin playing the vibrato, where I just sit on a note and I just shake the note. So that gives you like a different sound as well. And then of course, double stopping, and we kind of use this a lot in rock and roll. 2 notes at the same time. So all those type of things I use when I solo. Now I don't use them all at the same time. I use it like like a seasoning, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of whatever. If you take a hamburger and just fill it full of salt, it tastes like salt. Right? You just want a little bit to add a little bit of flavor. How many onions do you put on a hamburger? You want some. You don't want a lot. Pickles. You don't want to. I don't know, maybe you do, but most of the time you just put like 1 or 2 pickles on there. You just want a little bit of flavor going on. So those are the basic things. The 3 chords I use is what they call the 1 chord, 4 chords away, and then 5 chords away is that, or 5/7. And in the key of A is the 1 chord. 4 notes away from that, A, B, C sharp, D, that's a D chord. And then 5 notes away from A, B, C sharp, D, E. That's why they call this the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. The reason we call this the 5/7 chord is the quality of the chord. I have an extra note in the and I know that chord there wants to go back to the A chord. The 5 chord wants to go back to home. So the pattern that we have when we write a blues song, we have 12 measures, right? So that means we have 3 groups of 4, right? 3 times 4 is 12, right? So the way you write a blues song is you say something, you repeat it, then you answer it. So if I were to write a blues song, well, I'm so tired. I said, I'm so tired. After class, I'll take a nice long nap. So those are 3 choruses, right? I say something, I repeat it, and then I answer it. So that's really fulfilling when you write a blues song. So why don't you all take your, I know a lot of you have laptops out, or you have your phones, or you have some note. See if you can write a chorus or 2 for a blues song. So this takes some time right now. So you say something, you repeat it, then you answer. So I said, I was tired. Then I said I'm tired. And how I answered, I'm going to go take a nap. That's how I answered the song. So see if you can write a chorus or 2 of a blues song for the next 2 minutes, just to kind of have that little experience. And I'll play some blues for you as y'all are doing that. The gift of the blues, when I used to teach guitar lessons, I would teach that's something when they were originally put in the blues, I would teach that. The cool thing is that I can go anywhere in the world. If you know the blues, I can jam with you. I always have a song, I always have something I can play. I can sit down there and just do, oh, that sounds good, you know? And then if I start soloing, now that didn't happen overnight, you know, of course. You know, I learned the blues scale, you know, when I was 16 probably or whatever. You know, it's kind of like learning how to write a haiku. You know, to learn the basic form was at 5, 7, 5, but there's a lot more things going into in haiku than just that. But, you know, it takes you a very short time to learn what you need to do, but a lifetime to actually to master it, to get to be really proficient at that. And the same thing, you know, learning these 6 notes didn't take very long, but it took a long time to be able to know. And really the soloing comes from up here. I'm telling my fingers what to do. That's really what's going on. I'm really singing. I'm just telling my fingers where to go when I'm hearing it up here. So it's not like something that happens overnight. Now I've had students that I think are really gifted that can just pick it up really quickly. but it takes a little time to find where these notes fit into these chords and whatnot like that. So in rock and roll, it's a little bit more straight. Instead of being, so you're thinking like Johnny Be Good. And I do a lot of like those type of things because I've just been doing that for so long. You can use your guitar kind of like a percussion instrument as well. Well, anyways, do you have a little bit better understanding of the 12-bar blues now and what you can do with that as well? And this is a good example of a country blues musician, a male performer with a guitar. Normally, I wouldn't be on the stage though. I'd be out again, like I said, in a bar or saloon, a honky tonk or whatever, playing really close to the patrons in there as well.